He was very pleasant to us. He talked very nicely to us. Mr. Odhiambo. That was the name.
Yes.
Mr. Odhiambo. First question I put to Mr. Odhiambo is that I would like to see Mr. Miguna Miguna. And he told me Mr. Miguna was not at his station at home. I immediately retorted and said to him that why do you have so many police officers heavily armed within the compound?
Yes.
And his answer was that we fear that some people could try to attack our police station. My next answer to him was, why should they attack your police station? If Mr. Miguna is not here at all. And he said that they had received a rumor that Mr. Miguna was at his police station, but he was not. My Lord, there was not much that we could do. Mr. Odhiambo, the officer commanding the station of the OCPD, was kind enough to take care of my security, or the security with Mr. Harvey and Mr. Sundwa, as he said that we could actually be stoned, although I didn't seem to see any threat. And he gave us escort out of the police station. We returned to my home. And that was when we had Justice Caulfield, an Englishman who was a judge on the High Court of Kenya.
Baraka Karanja case? The Baraka Karanja case?
I think, yeah, I think. My Lord, may I say thank you for your good memory. You are able to remember. Mine had gone dim. I couldn't remember the name.
Yes.
Yes. My Lord, Justice Caulfield made order after an order for Karanja to be produced in court, dead or alive.
Yes.
My Lord, Karanja was never produced. Eventually, we came to learn that Karanja was dead. He had died in the hands of the police. Recently, my Lord, a matter that your Lordship also was associated with, I was also involved in that case. The case of a lawyer called Willie Kimani. Willie Kimani, a young man, an advocate, respected for the good work that he was doing for the Republic, for the legal profession. Again, disappeared, my Lord. We urgently made an application, this time through the Law Society of Kenya, which my learned friend, Mr. Ndubi, is representing this time. By that time, I was representing Law Society of Kenya. Again, he could not be produced. Eventually, we learned that Willie Kimani had been murdered by agents of the state. My Lord, I'm mentioning these things to you to demonstrate to you. We have come to you with a very heavy heart. We fear the life of Miguna Miguna. Is he alive? Is he dead? Is he in hospital? My Lord, these are questions that keep on coming up in our heads. What has happened to Miguna Miguna? Miguna has a family. The family does not live in Kenya at all. The family lives in Canada. The family is anxious to know what has happened to our breadwinner, Miguna Miguna. We as lawyers are not able to provide an answer. But we are receiving communication from the diplomatic houses in Nairobi, who are also keen to know the whereabouts of Miguna. Is he still alive or is he dead? But if I may take you back to the time we were at the law school, we were taught that when a judge makes an order, when a magistrate makes an order, whether the order is correct or whether it is wrong, you must obey it.
Yes.
The Lordship made an order. That order has not been obeyed. Our own President, Uhuru Kenyatta, has emphasized time and again that nobody is above the law, including himself in this country. And that's a good statement of law. Nobody is above the law, including himself in this country. All of us are under the law. We must obey the law. Obedience is important. It cannot be ignored at all. We have to obey our magistrates. We have to obey our judges. I recall one time when I was a small boy at school, we used to sing that trust in God, but all the time obey. We are under that duty.
Trust and obey.
Yes, trust and obey.
Yes.
That is a song I sang for several years.
Yes. We still sing it.
At the Alliance High School.
We still sing it.
In the chapel.
Yes.
I have fallen back at it. I don't go to church as regularly as I used to when I was at the Alliance High School.
Yes.
But we used to have that song.
Yes.
Trust and obey. And my Lord, we are all under duty. Our judges may be young, our judges may be old, our judges may be what, but when they make an order of the court, we must obey. It is becoming not to obey. Those orders have not been obeyed. May I say, my Lord, this, and I say it, but may I probably say one or two things before I say what I want to say. The Defense Counsel is a mixture of advocates and advocates who are in Parliament or who are in politicians. But my Lord, may I give you one assurance. We are in this court as advocates and nothing more than that. We are not in this court as politicians at all. And our duty, our first and foremost duty, is to uphold the rule of law in this country. That's why I had to make a trip immediately to go to Larry late in the day yesterday. That's why my learned friend, Mr. Sifuna, I believe is here.
He's here.
Yeah, Mr. Sifuna is here. Went out of his way to go to Kitunguri to find out the whereabouts of our learned friend, Mr. Miguna Miguna. And that's why we have quite a number of lawyers who have turned up in this case, because they are concerned that some people in this country do not seem to have respect for the rule of law at all. Some people in this country do not seem to have respect for orders of this court at all. My Lord, the opposite of not respecting orders of the court is anarchy, is chaos. When clients come to us in the offices and they say that, look, Khamenwa, there is an order of the court evicting me from my house. Should I disobey it?
Yes.
I tell the client, no, do make sure that you comply with the order. But after that, we shall see which we must uphold. My Lord, with those remarks, I urge you very respectfully that you proceed to make contempt orders accordingly. There is no way. You must proceed to make those orders to uphold the rule of law in this country, to show that none in this country, nobody in this country is above the law. We must uphold this constitution. But before I sit down, I'll refer your Lordship at my copy of the constitution here. What's the But may I refer you to one article here. Article 3 of our constitution. It says this, my Lord, if you may allow me to read it.
Yes.
Defense of this constitution. Article 3, sub Article 1. Every person, including the Lordship, has an obligation to respect, uphold, and defend this constitution. We are under mandatory duty to respect, uphold, and defend this constitution.
Yes.
My Lord, with those words, I urge you very respectfully that you are under duty to make one step forward in this matter by making a finding that the Inspector General is guilty of contempt in the face of the court. And must accordingly face the punishment as provided for by the law. My old friend, Mr. Harvey.
It's okay. Let Mr. Mailanyi respond.
Yeah, thank you.
Then,
say something.
yes, Mr. Mailanyi, what do you have to say with what
yes,
senior
Your
counsel
Lordship
has said?
my Lord, thereafter, will you be able to, because there are some factual issues I wanted to put across that may help the court have a paper trail of who is the last officer who had custody of Mr. Miguna Miguna.
We are dealing here with an institutional issue, and I think let's address it institutionally with the senior most people who are in charge of this thing.
Very well, my Lord.
Yes, Mr.
Thank you, Your Lordship. I will reply to my learned colleague, senior, Mr. Kamina's submissions. She went ahead and made calls to the DCI. I don't know whether she managed to get the Inspector General, but I'm aware that she talked to Mr. Kinoti, DCI, and they informed him that we have this court order. I'm writing a letter forwarding that court order with the Prosecution Council to effect service on you and the Inspector General. We were under duty to comply with your order of service. We are concerned, like everybody else, we uphold the rules and the laws of the Constitution. Dorcas wrote a letter to Honorable Professor Gideon Wegai, which copy I think I've given to you. The other letter went to Inspector General of Police, Mr. Joseph Chirichiri Boynet, The other letter went to George Kenotti, Directorate of Criminal Investigations. We briefed them about this court order. The court order was accompanied by that document. Mr. Meroka, who is present in court, is the one who went to serve the documents. If he is needed in court to be cross-examined on his affidavit, he is available to say that he complied with our directives to proceed to DCI, the Inspector General, and the AG to effect service. We had a very short period, short time, but we did what we could and we came back to court. So, my Lord, we have made attempts to have the IG and DCI comply with the law. We are lawyers.
Yeah, just wait a moment. Yes.
The Office of the Director of Public Prosecution is keen to have this matter resolved the soonest. We are not party to failure to produce Mr. Miguna in court. I have not received any charge sheet or any statements in respect of Miguna Miguna, so I would say I have not commenced any criminal proceedings against him.
Yes.
So all I need to submit is that DPP has complied with the order. We have not defied the orders. So, my Lord, with those few remarks, I will leave it to court for you to give any directions or orders because court orders must be obeyed by all citizens, non-citizens, and residents, irrespective of their positions, race, or color. That's
Okay, this is my ruling. On 2nd of February 2018, this court, that is Justice Wakiaga, ordered the police to release the applicant on bond pending his appearance before court today. The Inspector General of Police was served with the order on the same day. The applicant was not released from police custody. This morning, that is on 5th of February 2018, this court again reiterated the order issued by the court on 2nd of February 2018. It directed the applicant to produce the applicant before this court by 2 p.m. today. This order, sadly, again, has not been complied with. It is apparent that the Inspector General of Police and the Director of Criminal Investigation are in contempt of the orders of this court. Article 49(1) of the Constitution sets out certain non-derogable rights in relation to an arrested person. That right includes an accused person's. That right includes the right that an accused person, an arrested person, being produced in court within 24 hours to be charged or, in the alternative, be released. Article 25, sub-article C of the Constitution declares that the right to fair trial is one of those rights that may not be limited. Another right which cannot be limited is the right not to be subjected to or the freedom from torture and cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 25, sub-article A. From the submission presented before this court, it appears that the police, in detaining the applicant, are operating outside the Constitution and the law. In the circumstances, therefore, to remedy the situation, this court orders the Inspector General of Police, that is Boynet personally, and the Director of Criminal Investigations personally, George Kinoti, to appear before me tomorrow at 9 a.m. and bring the applicant personally before this court, or so that he can be dealt with in accordance with the law. This order shall be served by the DPP to the two officers, and it is so ordered. So we reconvene tomorrow at 9 a.m. And Mr. Mailanyi?
My Lord, can I seek directions?
Yes.
On the issue of service?
Yes.
Because we are advocates of the high court.
Yes.
When it comes to service, yes. We are dealing with police officers.
You are dealing with a constitutional office holder.
Constitutional office holder.
Yes.
And in view of the difficulties my colleague had this afternoon,
yes.
Could you give orders for somebody from this honorable court to effect service of the Hajj? Because we might not have that machinery.
The police does not appear before my court, Mr. Mailai. It is the Director of Public Prosecution that appears before my court. Under Article 157(10) of the Constitution, you have power to direct the police.
Yes, but
with respect to my Lord, that's correct.
So what I'm just saying is that you comply also, serve them, tell the IG to bring the applicant here at 9 o'clock. Or alternatively, if he wants not to come here, he should release him today. And then he doesn't need to come. But if he doesn't release him, he should come here.
The order and
you serve that order, and then, like I said in the morning, I don't want confrontation. I don't want confrontation with government. They should obey court orders, and then we
are most obliged.
Just proceed.
My Lord, on behalf of the applicant and my colleagues, we are most obliged.
You are welcome. Yeah, so 9 o'clock we convene here. Just, Mr. Malay, tell IGP.
My Lord, it's only that I would like to be excused another council prosecution because I'm before the court of appeal tomorrow with format.
The ODPP
I'm saying
is an office.
It's
no, it's okay. The ODPP is an office.
No, somebody will come.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in that. I'm just saying, if you don't see me, I have not run away from the case. It's only that I'm before.
That's okay. Yeah, but impress upon them the need.
I will.
They need to obey the court orders. We don't need to do that, but we have been forced to do that. Okay, thank you very much.
Doing this job is not for the faint-hearted. It takes dedication, courage, and strength. We endure all kinds of challenges.
Hiyo ndio sababu mimi natoa shukrani kwenu kabisa kama wananasa.
To bring you the most credible news. We thank all our viewers for their commitment. NASA TV is a people-driven channel, meaning our content direction and style comes directly from our viewers. We would like to appeal for your help to NASA TV to boost and improve our standards. You can contribute directly to NASA TV by donating to Airtel Paybill number 555155. Support NASA TV. NASA TV, mambo yabadilika. Doing this job is not for the faint-hearted. It takes dedication, courage, and strength. We endure all kinds of challenges.
Hiyo ndio sababu mimi natoa shukrani kwenu kabisa kama wananasa.
To bring you the most credible news. We thank all our viewers for their commitment. NASA TV is a people-driven channel, meaning our content direction and style comes directly from our viewers. We would like to appeal for your help to NASA TV to boost and improve our standards. You can contribute directly to NASA TV by donating to Airtel Paybill number 555155. Support NASA TV. NASA TV,